Is gratitude the ultimate authority? The one true key to happiness, wealth, and abundance? Well, that's what many experts would say. Be grateful, and then you'll be happy. Express gratitude, and you'll receive wealth and abundance. The reality is, we all know that's not really how it works. In fact, if you're feeling stuck in life, whether that's with your finances, your health, your relationships, or any other area of life, it's quite possible that your gratitude practice is what's keeping you stuck. This video is for anyone who feels a lack of authenticity in their gratitude practice, or for those who want to cultivate a gratitude practice that creates a mindset of wealth and abundance. I'm going to give you guidance on how you can know if your current gratitude practices are holding you back. I'm going to introduce you to an alternative way to cultivate a powerful gratitude mindset that aligns with wealth and abundance, and show you how to express genuine gratitude, especially during difficult times. Before we begin, let's talk about the downsides of practicing gratitude and how it can cause us to place limits on what we want for our lives. Being grateful can lift your spirits and invite positivity into your life. But can there be negative effects? Absolutely. When gratitude becomes about complacency or a mere habit without any depth or authenticity, it stops being beneficial, and it can keep us in jobs, relationships, or situations that no longer serve us because we feel too grateful to make a change. We look at our lives and write down a list of everything that we have to be grateful for, and then we tell ourselves that we have so much to be grateful for, and we don't have the right to be unhappy or to want more. Is there something wrong with wanting more? Absolutely not. You can be grateful right now and still want to improve your life and to have even more. Being grateful and wanting more don't cancel each other out. They can coexist in your life. I spent many years of my life raising kids. During all those years, all I focused on was making just enough money to support them and to get by. But I never made enough to save up for the big important goals that I wanted in my life, like buying a house. Right now, I love the home where I live, but it's not mine. I'm grateful that I have a comfortable home to live in with a minimal amount of stress. There's a flock of chickens out in the backyard, and they bring me a lot of joy and happiness. But I still want more. I want a house that is my own, something with my name on the deed. I want to be able to create a style within my home that's my own, and to change anything I want within my home. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. I can want more and still be grateful for what I already have. Don't place limits on what you want in your life, whether that relates to your success, personal growth, or wealth and abundance. Here's where many people get things wrong with gratitude. They confuse being thankful with being truly grateful. True gratitude enriches your life, but when it's misapplied, it can make you feel stuck. What if the gratitude that truly transforms us isn't about creating a gratitude journal and all the little things that we can touch or see? What if the real power lies in appreciating aspects of our very being, things that we often take for granted? I've always struggled with a fundamental misunderstanding of gratitude. I thought it was about being thankful for the obvious things: health, my home, happiness. I'd write in my gratitude journal the things I was grateful for, just like all the experts tell you to do. Sunshine after days and days of rain, a comfortable bed to sleep in, phone calls from my children, things that felt tangible to me. But what about non-tangible things that are part of who we are that we don't really think about? Things that are part of our character traits. My life has always felt like an endless cycle of trial and error, but I've always been able to bounce back pretty quickly after any setback. I'm not saying that I've never indulged in some pity parties and the occasional woe is me type of thinking, because I can guarantee you I have done that. But for the most part, moving on to figure something else out when, the world crashed down around me is just how I've always operated. I've never really stopped to think much about this trait of resilience. To me, resilience was something that was just part of my life. It wasn't really something to be grateful for. It was necessary for survival. When the economy collapsed in 2008 and I lost all my clients, I pivoted into problem solving mode and I relaunched my business with a new service, and it wasn't long before I had a new client base and was making more money than before. Resilience is a pattern I'd followed all my life, but only recently did I start to see that resilience is a gift, and it's not just a survival mechanism. It took me years to recognize that this resilience was a gift. Not everyone can face failure after failure after failure and move forward without hesitation. I've watched friends, family, and people I know who've tried, failed, and just give up. The realization that resilience is a gift made me see my resilience as more than a survival mechanism, but as a strength that was worthy of gratitude, a non-tangible asset that has been as crucial to my success as my business strategies. If you want to cultivate a gratitude mindset that aligns with wealth and abundance, stop focusing on the tangible things that you're thankful for in your life, and instead focus on intangible traits, parts of your character that empower you to seize every opportunity. Gratitude is not a stopping point in your life. It's not a thing you write in your journal and check off on your to-do list for the day. It's a stepping stone that pushes you towards achieving more opportunities, more growth, more fulfillment. It's not enough to simply feel grateful. We need to use that feeling as a catalyst. For instance, if you're grateful for your ability to adapt quickly to changes, you might leverage this character trait by applying for that higher level position that just opened up. Every expression of gratitude should remind you not just of what you have, but of who you are and the potential you have to create more. Using gratitude for our intangible traits is an amazing catalyst. It can lead to more success, wealth, and abundance. But is it possible to practice too much gratitude? When I first left Wisconsin, 2 of my sons moved with me to live in an RV. It wasn't a luxurious top-of-the-line RV or even the most comfortable, but we had shelter from the weather, we had a place to eat, sleep, and I had a place to work. I was grateful that I owned something that was mine. The title was in my name and it belonged to me, and that felt really good. But the RV park we ended up in was far from ideal. Our campsite was sloped, making it uncomfortable to sit outside or do any activities like using my grill. There were no amenities like a swimming pool or trails for walking. And the nearest town was a 30-minute drive away, and it offered very little in terms of things to do. It was poverty-stricken and lacked any fun activities in the area. And all of this was made worse by the fact that it would snow in that area. Snow was in my top 5 reasons for moving away from Wisconsin, because I absolutely hate it. But since I'd searched for over a month for a campsite that allowed long-term parking and rentals for my camper, this was the only place that I had found availability. And I felt grateful to have found a spot at all. So initially we agreed to stay for 6 months with the campsite owner. But I allowed my gratitude for having a place to park the RV to blind me to the fact that this was not what I truly wanted. And we ended up staying there for 2 years. So is there such a thing as too much gratitude? Absolutely, especially when it blinds you to the need for change. It's crucial to balance gratitude with critical thinking about your own needs and ambitions. Sure, our campsite met an immediate need, but unlike living in a home, I could have easily moved the camper to a park that was more suitable for what I wanted. Instead, I settled, which hindered my financial goals. So don't let gratitude tether you to the past or to situations that no longer contribute to your growth. While it's beneficial to appreciate both the past and the present, excessive focus on gratitude for what we've already experienced can sometimes hold us back, preventing us from moving forward towards the changes necessary for professional and personal growth. Having a mindset of gratitude is about striking the right balance, using it not as an anchor, but as a sail to propel us forward into new horizons. It's not just about where you've been, it's about where you're going next. Expressing gratitude goes beyond simply saying thank you. It's about recognizing the value and significance of the people, the circumstances, and opportunities in our lives, and acknowledging them in a way that impacts both us and those around us. To express gratitude effectively, we must be mindful and intentional. It involves observing, paying close attention to our lives, and noticing the good, even in small everyday things. It involves feeling, allowing ourselves to genuinely feel appreciation for these observations and letting that warmth touch our hearts. It involves acting, sharing these feelings with others, whether through words, actions, or gestures. This could be as simple as a thoughtful note, a heartfelt conversation, or a kind gesture that shows someone you truly appreciate their presence in your life. But as we all know, there are times when we experience difficulties and challenges in our lives, and expressing gratitude is the furthest thing from our minds. So is it possible to find opportunities to express gratitude when we're faced with the inevitability of these various challenges that life throws at us? Is it possible to genuinely feel grateful during tough times rather than adopting the typical grin and bear it mindset that helps us cope but doesn't really reflect our true feelings? About a year ago, my oldest son and his wife received the worst news that any parent can ever be told. Their youngest daughter, who was 3 years old at the time, was diagnosed with leukemia. Over the past year, they've experienced many holidays, birthdays, and special occasions, all in the hospital by her side, as she underwent numerous chemotherapy, radiation, and experimental treatments. Yesterday, the doctors told them there's nothing more that can be done for her. The treatments have not worked to remove the cancer cells from her body. I spoke with my son about this video and expressed to him that I didn't know how to move forward with what I wanted to say. I found it difficult for me personally to find gratitude through all of this. What my son had to say was surprising and holds a profound message for anyone going through life's challenges. He said that while they're heartbroken over the terminal diagnosis of their little girl, they're grateful for the now 4 years they've had to spend with her. They're grateful for the doctors and the care team who've spent much time with them in the hopes of helping her to recover. And now that there's nothing more that can be done, they're grateful that their little girl can come home instead of spending all that time in the hospital. And they can enjoy however much time she has left with them and her sisters. But beyond the feelings and words of gratitude that my son expressed, what he said next was the most important. Instead of sitting at home and cocooning themselves with their little family, they're taking action. They've connected with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and they'll be taking her on a trip to create even more memories together. They'll be bringing her here to Alabama to visit me, and to Mississippi to visit her great-grandmother as often as possible while she's still with us. And they're looking forward. They're looking ahead to more special times and holidays and celebrations together. But they remain hopeful that while there may be nothing the doctors can do today, that perhaps 6 months, a year from now, or sometime soon, there might be something that they can do to give her a long and healthy life. This is what true gratitude looks like. Expressing true gratitude in tough times is vital. It's about finding things to be genuinely thankful for without ignoring the reality of the situation. This means acknowledging your struggles, but also recognizing the good. This balance doesn't negate your feelings, but it enriches your ability to cope. Gratitude is a powerful practice, but only when it's genuine and balanced with a clear vision for your future. If you find yourself feeling stuck, it might be time to reevaluate how you practice gratitude. Remember, it's not just about feeling thankful. It's about using that thankfulness to create a life you love. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you ever felt stuck because of your gratitude practice? Have you found ways to practice gratitude during life's challenges? Let's discuss it in the comments below. And thank you for watching. I look forward to sharing a new video with you soon.